Less people today. Too much to absorb. Huh? So today we will just do one command, which is brace frames. Everything about brace frames, and then we will start the revision because your common test is coming 2 weeks later, right? And next week is your quiz. So we have covered quite a bit. Yes, we will do to see if we have time. So this will be the topic for today, adding brace frames. Do we wait for others or shall we begin? If I is that? Start first. Okay, I recorded already. Oh, by the way, Ms. Gunn, they will be able to have access to the recordings, right? All the recordings for the first 6 lessons. Hmm. Can someone try to see if you are able to access? Hmm. Oh, my side, can see that. Maybe I'll be able to log in. That's all I can see, but not sure. Last week's not good. I sent it to them. No, 5 videos. Can see, yeah. Can see. Only one. Yeah, well, not recently, like just, where do you see it? Can you see from your phone? Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, so this is what, yeah, so this is what you all will have to refer to, for your common test. So the questions could be just in terms of building up a very simple model, and that simple model will include a few different commands that you will have to do. For example, how to draw a grid line and then build a column on top of it, add a beam, add a slab on it. Okay, so in order for you to do that, you need to have at least 4 columns, right? Then probably how to add reinforcement and how do we draw. Today we will cover the brace frames, right? So how do you draw the bracing? The reinforcement could be both in terms of parallel to face, perpendicular to face, as well as area reinforcement also. So the questions could be from the first, from lesson 2 onwards up until today's. Okay, so your questions could come from all these different lessons that we have done. So whatever commands that I have executed in the class are the only things that I'm going to ask about. Nothing beyond the class for sure. Okay. So which is why for you all to watch the video before you come for your common test is very, very important. Okay. Any questions? All right. I hope everyone is clear on what your common test is going to be for your quiz next week. Take a look at the lesson number 1, the recording of lesson number 1. Your quiz is going to be from over there. Okay. So whatever I may have mentioned in lesson number 1 and the slides should be enough for you to, score actually full marks for your quiz at least. Okay. So the format for common test will be something like you will be modeling your models based on the question papers that will be provided to you, and you'll be modeling it inside the class itself. And towards the end, I will be going around visiting each and every one of you to do the marking on the spot. Okay. So I'll ask you a few questions. How did you model this? How did you model that? Based on the question paper that was provided. And you'll have to demonstrate what exactly are the steps that you took to execute that command. Okay. Any questions? You all are clear? Clear or not? Okay or not? Excited or nervous? Quiz will be, we can do online, right? On the Polite Mall. Yeah. On. Yeah, quiz, you'll have to do in the class. So when you come to the class, I will then start the quiz. You will not be able to do it before the class. Okay. All right. So today we'll be covering on the brace frames. There are a few topics under the brace frames for you to take note. First one will be to create brace frame elevation. Next one you will be doing is actually adding the frames on levels or maybe on floors, whatever you want to call it. And then subsequently, you will be adding, frame gussets. Do you all know what is gussets? No? Gussets is bit. So let's say you add a frame like this. So for you to add a frame, marker. Okay, never mind. So let's say you add a frame like this. I'll just draw it out for you. Insert shape. So let's say you add a frame on, let's say this is the top level, this is the bottom level, right? Imagine these two are columns over here, right? This is the beam. So if you want to add a frame from here to here, and then from this side, so let's say something like this, right? So you can't just leave your frame just like this. You need to provide certain supports over here, right? So you'll have to provide a support for your frame, which will look something like this. Okay. This is very rough, huh? Okay. So this support that you are providing is referred to as a gusset. Okay. So frame gussets. Later on, when you actually do it, you'll be able to understand how it actually works. So it's steel, basically made up of steel, right? So gussets are, frame is also made up of steel. Okay, so frame gussets. And then finally, today for the first time, we will be creating drawing sheets, but we will still focus on our brace frames itself for the preparation of drawing sheets. Okay, this is what we are going to do today. Hi, everyone looks so unhappy and sad, tired. Common test and tired. Don't worry. Why you worry? So brace frame we will do very fast today. And then we will carry out the revision because I realize that we have covered lots of commands and so it will be just fair for you all to go through a revision in today's and probably in the next lesson as well to score good marks in your common test. Don't worry about the marks as long as you do a good job or do the job, not even good, but do something. Uh, yeah, it should be okay. Okay, but make sure that you are following what has been spoken about. All right, so let's quickly do the brace frames, then we will start our revision. So before we do the brace frame, last week we covered the reinforcement. We covered the perpendicular and parallel reinforcement for the foundation wall, and for the slabs we covered the area reinforcement last week, right? Do you all remember this particular call out that you created last week? So rebar typically is not denoted something like this, right? It's looking like it's hollow, right? Like a tube. In your drawings, how do you see a rebar? It's a solid black color line, right? In your drawings. So let's change certain view properties of this rebar. So open this particular callout view. For my case, I named it as sectional view metal decking callout 1. For your case, see what you have named it as and come to this particular callout view. Everybody able to find their callout view for your foundation wall where you created your rebar? Got it? Give Mark sometime. You logged in already? While he is logging in, just to share with you, you can do it very simply. So as you can see, this is like a tube over here, right? If you just change this visibility settings over here, detail level, if you just change the detail level to coarse, it will look like this. But this is not a correct representation of a rebar. It just looks like a line. Okay, we want to make this, denote a particular rebar. This is just a line which may or may not, mean proper things. So we'll keep the detail level as fine over here. Keep the detail level as fine. Don't change it to coarse. Got it? Your call out view. Okay. Once you have your call out view, please go to visibility graphics overrides. Click on this edit over here. Visibility graphics override can be found inside your properties dialog box. Got it? Huh? Visibility graphics overrides. Or if you, I will close this for a moment, or if you just type press VV on your keyboard, the visibility graphics override will also appear. I mean, if you want to try, you can try. Close this and press VV. Press the keyboard VV 2 times. That's a shortcut. Maybe one of your questions could be, what's the shortcut for visibility graphics override? Maybe, who knows? Okay, so I hope you are able to find it. Then scroll down and find rebar. Rebar or structural rebar. Rebar, structural rebar. Find structural rebar. Found? Okay, when you find structural rebar, there are a few things over here. You know, how do you want to want this software to represent lines, the lines that you have drawn. So lines are basically the external ones that you are seeing. Means this is the lines. How do you want it to be represented? Do you want it to be shown as dotted lines? Do you want it to be shown as solid lines, or what kind of lines? So that's about lines. Pattern over here is how do you want to fill? What color do you want to fill inside these two tubes, which looks like a tube over here? What color do you want to fill it over here? Or do you want it to be like a, hatched or something like that? So that's about pattern. And transparency, like you want it to be completely visible, or you want it to be like, 50% transparency or whatever transparency. So you can play around with it later on. But for the moment, just go to click on this rebar, structural rebar anywhere over here. Make sure that this override over here is highlighted. Once it is highlighted, I want you to focus on the override, which is under the column of patterns, where you see my cursor there. Click on the override, which is under the column of patterns. Found it? Okay. Once you find that, for the moment, the reason why it's looking white over here is because pattern is shown as no override. Means there is nothing, no color, nothing mentioned over there. So I want you to change that pattern to solid fill. So when you click on this drop down over here, I want you to change. So foreground, two things there, foreground and background. So under the foreground drop down of pattern, change this no override to solid fill. Able to do it? Okay. And in terms of color, let's not get too fancy for the moment. Choose the black color. So when you click on this color over here, it will open up another dialog box. Then I want you to choose black. Able to so far? All right, then click OK. Over here, also click OK and click Apply. See what happens. Okay. Right. Now, I want you all to repeat what I did just now and change this color to red. I will just walk around and see if you have managed to do that or not. So all you need to do is visibility graphics, find structural rebar, under the column of pattern, click on override, make it solid fill. Solid fill should already be there. Then find the color as red. Yeah. Everybody please try. Please try at least. I need to see that you have managed to open certain dialog box at least. Okay. If not, then how? No, you need to do yourself. Asking him for what? Do yourself first, then I come to you. Okay. Open some dialog box first. At least visibility graphics, you know how to open, right? Those who have managed to change to red, raise your hands. Let Miss Gan take a look. Okay. Good, done, Justin. Great. No, don't help me first. Now, if you have managed to change to red, change it back to black. Change it back to black. Yeah. That was just as an exercise for you to understand what was going on. Okay, ready? We'll give him some time. Okay. So those who managed to change to red, change it back to black. I hope that's done as well. Done? All right, good. Shall we move on? How about you? You logged in already? Okay. Let me know once you're able to log in and open your model. Okay, you guys let me know once you are able to log in. Yeah, then we start again. We just did a very short exercise just now. Yeah, which you can definitely learn from the video. Good enough. Ready? Okay, good. Let me know. Okay. All right. So our rebar is done. Now we will now start modeling our brace frames already. Okay. So please go to your structural level 2. Okay. For your structural level 2, if you would have modeled your rebar, probably it will look something like this. It's a very confusing floor plan, right? We want to keep our floor plans clean, right? So if your floor plan of structural level 2 also looks like this, then what I need you to do is go to visibility graphics overrides again. Okay, for your structural level 2. Under this model categories tab, scroll down and find structural rebar. Structural rebar and uncheck structural rebar. Once you uncheck, click on apply and OK. So this doesn't mean that your rebar is gone. It just means that your rebar is hidden. And when you hover your mouse on, on top of your floor plan, it will show you X like that. Yeah, which basically means that your rebar is still there. It's still modeled, but it's just hidden in view. Everyone, please go ahead and hide your rebar if your rebar was shown all over the floor plan, like what I had last time. Your floor plan should look clean like this. Okay. Yeah, so it takes a little bit of an effort. You need to go, scroll your mouse something like this on the edge, then somewhere inside. So it just goes slow. So sooner or later, with more experience, you'll be able to find very fast. So for the moment, just try scrolling your mouse, not scrolling, moving your mouse, hover your mouse a little bit near the edge. You'll be able to see. Okay, ready, everyone? One, two, what's up? Never mind. If you didn't do the area reinforcement, we will practice. Yeah, but would suggest that you take a look at the video. Okay, from last week, but we'll do the revision today and next week. Okay, so you'll still get it. Okay, so in your structural level 2, once you have managed to hide your rebar, I need you to go to your view tab. Okay, view tab, and find elevation. Click on the drop down and say, click on framing elevation. So when I haven't clicked anything, but you see there's a drop down that come already, right? You'll see that in the drop down, it shows what does it mean. So if I have to draw a frame from one level to another level, I will use this particular view in order for me to draw it properly. Okay, so framing elevation, click on that. When you click on it, come over to this particular portion of the building. So when you see, when you hover your mouse, you will see that if you go a little inside, the framing elevation will be shown to you from the inside, but don't do that. Come a little outside, and when your bubble is outside the building, something like that, something like this, then click. Okay, got it? Managed to do that? Click. Yeah, click on the. Okay, I do it again. So what I mean is, when you are, when your grid line, when your grid line is highlighted, make sure that your arrow is a little bit towards the outside portion. So you see that my arrow right over here is neither touching the grid line nor is it above the grid line. So it's outside, right? But don't click at that side. Click on this particular portion of the building, because the software is able to understand where are you exactly trying to draw the framing. You're not drawing the framing on the outside, right? You're drawing the framing from your level 2 to your level 3, like this. Okay, got it? Understand? So click on this portion, make sure that this bubble is on the outside. Okay, once everything is done, you can come out of the command. You can come out of the command by pressing escape multiple times or going to the modify tab. Okay, so far? Okay, then just one left mouse click on the top triangle of this framing elevation. Make sure that it's selected and highlighted as blue. Just one left mouse click to highlight it. Able to do? Okay. Now for the view name, because I'm drawing this bracing from my grid line G and between grid line 8 and 9. So I'm going to rename this as under the view name. So in order for you to rename that, you can rename it as framing elevation grid G dash 8, 9. Because I am drawing for your case, it could be something else. Go and find the name of your grid line. What is the name of your grid line? Go ahead and take a look first. For my case, it's G and between 8 and 9. For your case is what? For your case is what? 2? 1, 2. 5, 1 up. Yeah. Horizontal grid line is what? Yeah. So for my case, it's grid line G and between 8 and 9. 5, 1, 3. And this one, horizontal? 3. Huh? 3. 3. And this one? 3. This one don't have. Don't have? Why? Have. Definitely have. Without this, you wouldn't have come this far. Yeah. Fine, fine. Find your own grid line names. And first mention the horizontal one, then dash 8,9 or 1,2 or 5,10, whatever you have. Got it? Two? Yes or no? And as you can see just now, automatically the software has recognized this particular section. Go and find in your properties dialog box, go and find this, uh, you know, parameter called associated datum. So for my case, because I selected the grid line G, the software knows that I'm going to draw my frames on my grid line G. Make sure, for your case also, make sure that whatever grid line you have named is the one that is selected. Okay, it shouldn't be like if I select here and it should not be saying ABCD or whatever. Because I selected grid line G, associated datum over here, where is that? Yeah, associated datum for my case is also G. Okay, so make sure, check all these things. It's important. Because if you are going to draw a BIM model with good quality, you need to know what are the items that you need to check yourself before you move forward. Okay, got it so far? Everyone here? All right. So once you have that, you can click out of the command. And now what I need you to do is go to this, again, the top portion of this uh, framing elevation and double click. It will direct you to this portion, something like this. Found? Okay, good. Now, there are a few adjustments that we need to make here. So first things first, you should notice that for my case, it was grid line 8 and 9. So the framing elevation is exactly on that grid line 8 and 9. Okay. Few changes or few modifications we need to make here. If your view is also something like this, click on this section box here. This is called section box, and drag it till you see the columns on both the sides. Okay, something here, a little bit on this side. Yeah, okay, a little bit on this side. Yeah, make sure your detail level is set as fine. Detail level is set as fine so that you can look at the whole column and not just one line. And your visibility or this visual style is set as maybe wireframe or hidden line. Hidden line. Okay. Your visual style should be hidden line and your detail level should be set as fine. Okay. Another few things that I'm going to do before I start drawing my framing here. It seems that my architectural model is loaded here. Yes, too. What's up? Yeah, you only want to talk to Ms. Khan, is it? Well, where did you go wrong? I still behind. Behind where? You're not able to find the elevation? framing elevation. This one you managed to get right. Okay, ready? Right. Okay, so yeah, this linked architectural model is a little bit distracting for me because I'm able to see, I think this element is a door or a window or something like that. So I just want to look at my structural model. I don't want to look at additional stuff that will distract me from my modeling. Okay. Also, my levels are, some of them are coming from the architectural side. So what I'm going to do is, when you are inside this view of your framing elevation that you just created, I need you to go and find inside your project browser, all the way at the bottom, Revit links. Got it? And right click on it. No, no, yeah, you need to expand. If it is like plus over here, then you just expand and find the architectural.rvt unloaded. Yours is unloaded, is it? Already unloaded. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to unload this architectural model first. So right click and click on unload. Cannot use the undo redo buttons. Do you want to continue? Say okay. Yeah. Okay, for some of you all, maybe in one of the previous steps, we would have already unloaded it before, but some of you would still need to unload it. So right click and unload. Okay, unload it. Let's see what details do we have. This is what my reinforcement, and this is the beam. So I'm going to draw a framing from my level 2 to level 3. Okay, so just enlarge your screen somewhere, something like this, so that you are able to see both structural level 2 and structural level 3 and both the beams. Make sure that you have beams on both level 2 and level 3. Okay. Okay, once you have managed to enlarge your screen to that which is convenient to you, go to the structure tab and find this command called structural framing brace. Okay, so you know what it looks like, right? That's the brace that you're going to draw. Found it? Structural tab, yeah, structural tab and structural framing brace. Click on brace. Yeah, I mean, if this one comes, you just click on save the project. That's fine. Okay. Now there are a few different types of structural framing, right? Let's for this particular exercise, let's just select HSS square, a simple type of a bracing, not very complicated. Let's not go for I-beams and things like that. Let's just select a simple hollow section steel. 152.4 by 152.4 into 9.5. Just select that one. Select something very simple. Okay, once you have selected that, selected already, everyone able to find this? Anybody not able to see this command? I mean, this brace library? Guys, one thing is very important. You need to, enlarge your section box a little bit to make sure you are able to see both the columns, because we are going to draw the bracing from here to here to here. Okay, both your columns should be visible for your structural level 2 and your level 3. Okay, that's very important. Okay, good. Looks like everyone is settled. Right. Now this is our beam. Let's give him a moment. Okay. So, all right. So this is our beam of level 2, and this is our beam of level 3. We want to brace them. Okay. We want to provide them enough supports so that they are able to, support all the weights. So let's start from our level 2. When you hover your mouse in the middle portion of the beam of level 2, go all the way towards the, where the beam is intersecting with the column. And you will find that when you are exactly where you're supposed to be, it turns into a square. Able to find, everyone? So that particular portion is showing that this beam is intersecting with that particular column, and that is your analytical line, which means you perform your structural analysis and all those things, right? In your design, structural design. So that portion is where your analytical line of your beam is intersecting with the column. Everyone able to locate your thing, your what's that called? Analytical line. Just wait. Two, okay. Okay, Justin. Ready? Hmm? No, it's okay. No, I was here 4 p.m. I did my meeting from here 4 to 6. Very long. Okay, come. Once you find this square here, just click one left mouse click. You will be able to start your brace from that portion here. Go towards the top of top beam and find the midpoint of the beam on the top. So few things you would have realized by this lesson. What's the symbol, snapping symbol for the endpoint? Square. What's the snapping symbol for midpoint? triangle. Okay, so these are a few things that you should realize by today. Okay, so when you find the midpoint, click there, and you will see that a brace frame, structural frame is drawn from here to here. Okay, got it? All right, same thing. Find the endpoint of this beam over here, represented by a square. One click, go to the top, find the midpoint somewhere here of the top beam. One click, and your brace is drawn. Or your, let's say, structural frame is drawn. Can anybody tell me what's the mistake I made? That's the mistake, but why do you think that has happened? No? What do you mean midpoint? Why do you think that has happened? Okay, I do again. Tell me if this happens again. Yep. So it's a bit challenging to find the midpoint because it's being intersected by this particular beam. So I'm just going to delete that beam first and find the endpoint here, midpoint here. That's the thing. Did you understand why it was like that? Why was it? Did anybody capture? The beam next to it, not behind. That somebody say something. So I'll do it again. I'll just enlarge my view. You don't need to enlarge your view. I'll just enlarge mine first. So if you see what has happened, just see, look at my screen. When I draw this brace from here, midpoint, to this portion here, do you see which beam's analytical line is highlighted? So am I supposed to draw the beam for the structural framing for that beam or this beam, the beam on the left one, right? So if I select that, it will not be correct, which is why my frame went all the way through. So if I'll just do this mistake once again. So if I select this, you will see that my framing here has overlapped this. Is this correct? Incorrect? Incorrect. So to sort it out, there are a few ways. One of the very simplest way is to just delete this beam and draw again, but let's try one more time. I'm going to start from this midpoint and I am going to, as soon as I approach here, it just snaps to that one. I will draw as near as possible. Yeah, just draw as near as possible to the midpoint of that beam. That's still not correct. The ideal way will be to snap at the midpoints. But because it's not doing that, yeah, let's draw as near as possible to that one. Yeah, you can do that. Or if you want, you can delete this beam. What you can do is you can just, let me just Control Z for a moment so that yeah, just delete this beam, just one beam, and go back to brace again. Find the midpoint here and find the midpoint there. Then I can just draw the beam very quickly over here also. Create similar section. Back again. Okay, so it can be done very fast. That's one of the. Put back the beam. I delete. Then what I will do is, so this beam, right? This is the same type of a beam, right? This is the universal beam 356. This one also should be 356, 171. Okay. So what I did was I just clicked on this beam because I have drawn this before. Okay. So I right click on it and I will say create similar. Create similar could be used for any other item as well. So if this is column. So if I want to create another column again, I can do create similar and then my column command will be repeated. If I want to create another wall, right click on the wall, create similar, the wall command will be repeated. So now I'm trying to create the beam, right click on the beam, create similar, go and find this intersection here and find this intersection here and the beam will be brought back. Then you can escape out of the command. Okay, so far? What? Somebody say something, is it? Which one? Beam. Beam, is it? Okay. So let's say my beam is second. Let's say my beam is gone, right? So I want to bring back the beam or create the beam again. I can do this thing. Click on this beam on the next adjacent side. Right click and create similar. Create similar. Find this intersection here and find this intersection here, and then the beam will be brought back. Okay, I will show another way. Give me a moment. Okay, so what happened? Oh, yeah. This one, right? Okay. So there's another way as well. The one that I showed to you, delete and then bring it back again. In terms of modeling practices, it's not that ideal. Okay, you don't delete the elements that you have already put up. Okay, so the better way to draw this beam would be, I'll bring this thing back again, and then let's take a look. So what I did was, because this beam is causing me problems, right? It's causing me problems because I'm not able to select the endpoint of the beam that I want to select, right? So what I will do first is I'm just going to temporarily hide this beam. So you all can practice with me. So to hide this beam temporarily, just one left mouse click on this beam. Able to select the beam? All okay? Two. Okay, ready? Yeah. So just one left mouse click on this beam, then right click, and hide in view. Don't choose category, choose element, because category means all your beam, right? Beam is a category. If you choose category, all your beams will be hidden. I will demonstrate it to you in a moment. Okay, but for the moment, select hide in view elements, and only your that beam will be hidden for a moment. You'll need to bring it back again, but that will be hidden. Now, I mean, if you have drawn the brace, you don't need to repeat it. For my case, I will draw the brace because I didn't draw it or I deleted it. So now, as you can see, I'm able to select the endpoint of the beam that I want, and it's drawing properly. Okay. Now, once I'm done with this portion, I need to bring back this beam as well, right? So you will see that there is this small bulb kind of an icon all the way at the bottom called reveal hidden elements. Able to find? Small bulb. It's like a bulb all the way at the bottom. Okay, got it, everyone? Click on it and your screen will be something like that, like red, pink, whatever color this is. Then go and find the beam that you hit just now for temporary purposes. Click on it. By the way, any other element, if you would have hidden, yeah, you will see that I can select it, but if I right click on it, I'll not be able to see this one is hidden, right? This is the only beam which I hid just now. So if I right click on this beam, unhide in view, this option of elements will be available. Okay. Are you able to find the beam that you hit just now? All okay? Justin? Two? You're not doing a. Why? Okay, good. Elements. Yeah. Select elements. Now, if you select on it again, because you unhide it already, everything is hidden. Okay, so you don't, I'm just demonstrating it. You don't need to do again. So if you right click on any other item, none of these items are hidden. So you won't be able to see anything. Okay, once you are able to unhide that beam, click back on this bulb icon here, and you will see that your beam is back. Okay, got it so far? Probably one of the questions could be hide a particular type of an element and bring it back, change certain properties and everything. Okay. Right, so that's your framing. We are not done yet. Let's provide more support for this so that our building never falls. So brace again, I will start this command brace again and find the midpoint of the beam on the top, or maybe midpoint of the beam. Yeah, maybe at the top here for level 3. Second, let me just bring back my section so that everything is proper. Yeah, so structural brace midpoint here, and then go all the way till you find the midpoint of this beam at structural level 2. Okay, so your beam is like that. I mean, your structural framing is like that. Okay, got it so far? This is like very good support. All right, everyone managed to get this? Okay, so far? All right. Now we have to draw the frame gussets. Okay, everyone? Okay, those who have drawn it already, why don't you go ahead and tag the elements? Remember how did you tag it last time? Remember? Tag your structural framing, the one that you draw just now. So to tag it on the top of your this one software, the top panel will show something called tag by category. Click on that and you will see that arrow or whatever is like that. It's coming over there. Maybe just click on it first. Okay, then you will definitely need to adjust your move in. Okay. Yes, one question, some question is it? Yeah. Okay, so it's here tagged by category. Do some adjustment, bring it something like that. Able to do that? Tagging? Okay, so if yours is big, click on this scale here and select a shorter scale, maybe 1:50. Try doing that. The scale here. Select a shorter one. Able to do that? Okay. For my case, I will go back to 1:100 because for me it's okay. Got it? Yeah, reduce the size. Go to the scale here, 1:100, and select a shorter scale, 1:50 maybe for your case. See if it works. Awesome. Okay. For my case, I will go back to 1:100. It depends. I mean, for your case, probably it's a different scale to represent the sizes. For my case, it's different. Yeah. Right. Let's move on to drawing our supports now. Okay, so to draw our supports, need to do a few things. Everyone okay so far? All good? Okay. Now to draw our supports, so the idea here is, because sometimes, like what I mentioned in one of the earlier lessons, there are certain libraries which may not be readily, one second, I'm sorry. There are certain libraries which may not be readily available in BIM or in Revit, right? So for those kind of libraries, we need to create ourselves. One of those libraries is this gusset or this support, right? So it's not available inside Revit software. So the intention would be for us to create that gusset so that it is able to provide support to our framings which we created just now. Okay, so let's do it step by step. So what I need you all to do first is go to your structural tab and go to this section called component and select model in place. Able to find model in place, able to find, right? Okay, once you have this dialog box here, I need you to find something called structural stiffeners. Yeah, so for framing, we provide the support using structural stiffeners. Stiffeners, I believe some of you all may have heard. Basically, stiffener is another name for gussets. Okay, so select structural stiffener. Able to find? Okay. Once you have done that, click on OK. Right? If it asks you to put a name, just say structural stiffener dash gusset. Yes. Also important to say, because the gusset could be different for different grid lines. So I will say grid G 8,9. For my case, it was grid G 8,9. Structural stiffener dash gusset. Gusset for which grid? It is for my grid G dash 8,9. For my case, for your case, check which grid you are working on. Go ahead, do it slowly. Don't rush. Okay, what's your grid? Able to find? Do it slowly find your correct grid, and then mention. Okay, ready? All right. Click on OK. Name cannot contain. Okay, name cannot contain some of these symbols. So I'll just remove cassette, grid 8, G8, and 9. Okay. Make sure there are no special symbols. Sorry, I forgot about that. So the software is good enough to remind me. So remove all special symbols. Grid G8 and 9, or grid G8 and G9. I'll just mention like that. Okay, so far? All right. Click on OK then. Right. Now your screen should look something like that. Okay. Now, like what I said earlier, because the library of stiffener is not available in Revit, we are going to create a library of this stiffener or gusset. So let's start creating a library of it, or let's start creating the object of stiffener. So now you see, right, your previously over here, if you observe, what were some of the tabs that you had on top? Structure, architecture, MEP systems, all those things. Now you see a completely different tab over there. Based on what I explained just now, why do you think the tab has changed? Hmm? Yes, because we are creating a family. Okay, so that's why the tab has changed. Okay, good. Now that you are inside this section where you are creating a family, click on extrusion here. Able to find extrusion? Under the create tab, there is this command called extrusion. Click on it. Okay, got it? Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to find somewhere which is somewhat like this, about, let's say, 1200 from the left side. Or maybe let's start from the bottom here. Let's start from the bottom here first. So on this end point over here, find this portion here, the nearest on the external line. Okay, this particular line here. Click on it, go to the top, somewhere, let's say about 700. Okay. Okay, I start again. So so you see my, this structural framing, right, is supposed to be sitting between this column and this beam here. Okay. So what I will do is I'm going to provide a support for it. So I can start from the very intersection of this column where it is intersecting with the beam. So I'll find the nearest here and go to the top a little bit by about 700 mm. Okay. Okay, when you are able to reach 700, click again. Okay, so far? When you are able to click, start moving in this direction. Okay, start moving in this direction. Zoom in a bit and find, probably the nearest portion where you can intersect with. This will not be highlighted, so you'll have to do some approximation. Okay, so find the nearest portion and click. Okay, probably it will be 300, 400, something like that. Okay, got it so far? Okay, we are doing very slowly, huh? Then what I need you to do is find a direction which is perpendicular to this. It should be perpendicular to your structural frame. So it should be like perpendicular to this line. Okay. So find some portion like that. So for my case, when I, when I hover my mouse a little bit, you'll see that a pale blue line appears on the top and the bottom. So it shows me that that is the perpendicular to that top line of the framing. Okay, so for your case also, there should be a dotted pale blue line. Come to the this portion. Do it. Move your mouse slowly in the beginning. Okay, don't rush into it. Okay, then find the intersection somewhere here. Okay, found it. And then go to the bottom again. Find this line and join it back. Okay, that's what you need to do for here. Everyone able to draw? After this, we will take a break. Don't worry. Everyone able to draw, I hope. Ms. Khan, uh, I think maybe in the break we can help him because he just went outside, right? So let me finish this command. Then we come back to him in the break. Any questions on this thing first? Okay. Right. So now since we have drawn this portion of the stiffener, yes, let's come out of the command because we now know how to model it smartly. Okay, so we don't want to repeat the same steps all the time. So I guess you all would have remembered in the last class, how do we, if let's say I want to repeat the same steps over here, I don't need to take the same, model from here, from here, from here, like that, right? I can just use a command. Which command is that? Error. Okay, so I will select all of these lines that I have drawn. So for me to select all these lines, I can just move my mouse, the window here like that, and go to this command called mirror pick axis and select the center point over here, and the same thing will be drawn there. Okay. Then I will come out of the command again. Please try to mirror the lines. Okay. Got it? All right. Now let's draw the supports for the top and the bottom also. So I am going to use the same thing. Line here, line command here. I'm gonna find the center point here, midpoint of this over here. Maybe come to this side about 600, let's say. 600 is too big, is it? Maybe 500. Maybe 500 from the midpoint. So what I did was I started from the midpoint here on the top. Midpoint here on the top and come to the left about 500. Okay. 500, then start going to the bottom. Okay, find the nearest when your line is touching this framing. Again, draw perpendicular this side, then come straight and draw up until just the midpoint here. Again, because we are smart people now, I'm just going to select all of this and I'm going to select mirror pick axis and do this very fast. Okay, able to do it? Got it so far, everyone? Okay, looks like there is some small gap here for my case. Never mind. If let's say there is an error, it will be good. We will learn how to fix the error quickly also. Okay, don't worry about the error. Okay, so far, everyone here? Justin? Okay, never mind. We come to you. Okay, never mind. Right. So we also need to provide a support here at the bottom. Any specific size of? Nope. No. Right. I mean, it's not necessary for a specific size, but you can start modeling as long as you are able to get somewhat similar shape. It's good enough. Okay. Right. So we were at this portion here. So I'm going to now draw the same type of a support at the bottom as well. So to do that, select this entire thing. And this time, I want to mirror. But okay, so if I select pick axis, right, I don't have an axis in the horizontal direction. All I have is an axis in the vertical. So I will not select that. I'm going to select everything, all my lines over here. And this time I'm going to select mirror draw axis because I want to draw my mirror it in the horizontal direction. Okay, because I don't have any axis in the horizontal direction, I'm going to draw an axis. Okay, got it? Why I'm selecting this command? The mirror draw axis. So when you select that, you'll find this particular midpoint here. When you find the midpoint of this structural framing, click on it and start drawing an axis in this right-hand side direction. And once you do the second click, your structural framing, what's that? Stiffener, structural stiffener will be drawn. Okay, got it? Everyone managed to do that? Okay. Right. I think there will be some error, but we will fix that together. Right. Let's see. Okay, so far, everyone here? All right. Then once you have drawn, so this is how you draw a library or family or additional object. Okay, once you have drawn that, click on this finish edit mode. Once you clicked on it, click on finish model. This one comes, just say save. Okay. As you can see, it's there in 3D. Okay, the reason why it's not here is probably because I need to turn on my structural stiffener. Structural. Is it also not visible for you all? Okay, never mind. Go for a break, come back. While I figure out this one. Come back by 8, what's now? 8:10. Come back by 8:25. Yep. Oh, good. Nope. Very strange. Why is it not showing? Well, it's not showing. Very strange. Okay. Everything is not just about test. Structural stiffeners are supposed to be here. Pattern is there. You fine. Right. Oh. Thanks. Okay, never mind. Today the structural stiffener is not showing. Is everyone back or what? Back. Anyways, for you all, please go and take a look at your 3D model. Definitely it should be there. Is it there? Change the 3D model visual style to consistent colors. See if everything is proper. All aligned, everything okay. You can okay. Your 3D, your mouse is small. On the top right. How do you do that? Oh, yeah, shift and the middle button of the mouse. Yeah. So if your drama animation software, you can see the. Sorry? from elevation. So elevation. Yeah, elevation view can see. Elevation view is not a problem. We need to see this in the framing elevation, this one as well, because this is where we are going to create our sheet from, but elevation view should be able to see. I mean, same thing in the 3D view also should be able to see. Okay, never mind. Let's move on. If possible, we'll come back to it later on. Okay, ready? Justin, all okay? How about him? Wisdom? All okay, right? No? He's saying no. Okay. So next, I think that's one issue here. Never mind. We see as we go. Okay. So next thing today is we are just going to create our drawing sheets for the brace frame that we have drawn today. So let's do it together. Go to the View tab. Under the View tab, remember last time you you use this command called callout. Okay. So select on the rectangular callout. Okay, and select all around your brace that you draw just now, your structural framing and everything that you draw just now. Oh, yep, rectangular callout. Okay. Got it? Everyone here? All right. Then next thing, let's go inside this particular callout. So when you have this rectangular callout here, you can go inside this callout by hovering your mouse on top of this circle and double clicking on it. So as you can see, your elevation, this is where your callout, because you created your callout on the elevation view just now, right? So it's automatically inside your elevation view. Okay. Let me do a quick check if everything is not here. Okay, never mind. We will go ahead with this. All right. Rather, let's do one thing. We have drawn our what do you call it? Our brace, and we have drawn our framing and everything we have drawn already. Let's go to your south elevation. Little bit more simpler here. Go to your south elevation, you'll be able to see all your gussets and your structural frame over here. Okay, then go to call out, rectangular call out, start from here and just select this portion that you have drawn your items on. Okay. Go inside the call out. There are a few additional items, like for example, this particular section view. You can move that. You can, or you can just hide it in this particular view by selecting on it, right click, hide in view elements. We are just going to focus on this particular call out here. Okay, so far. Okay, so while we are in this view, south callout 1, you see south callout 1, right? This particular view doesn't really give me enough indication of what exactly am I trying to do. So let's rename this particular south callout view as under view name, you will see it's called south callout 1. Select on it and say, call this as structural framing callout. Okay, structural framing callout. Grid, what is this? Grid for my case, G8 and G9. For your case, see what grid is that on. So I'm calling it structural framing callout grid G8 and G9. Okay. Okay, let's draw a few more callouts because we also want to talk specifically about the gussets or the stiffeners that we have drawn. So same thing under the view tab, callout rectangle, select this stiffener here like that. And one more, select this particular stiffener like that. Okay, because the connection is a bit different, so we are going to select this particular portion as well. Let me just reduce the scale a little bit so that everything is visible. Sometimes these kind of things might occur in the middle, so you can move it out. Use your, the buttons over here to move it out of your way if you want to. Yeah, make sure your callouts are all there for the 3 stiffeners here. Okay, choose the bubble. Oh, sorry, not there. Use it to move it something like this. Basically, the intention is just to move the bubbles in a place where you are able to see everything. Okay. Got it? Because it's similar to the one on the top. Or if you want, you can add one more rectangle. Just draw one more and then move this circle somewhere like that. Okay. Then rename each one of these callouts also. So this select on this callout and rename this as, yeah, you see it's a very long name here. Callout one, as you can see. Yeah, so I don't want to name so big. So I'll just call it cancel. I'm just going to call it structural framing. I'm just going to call it, grid G8 and G9, gusset or stiffener callout one. Okay, apply. So this one is my stiffener callout one. This one I will call as grid G8, G9 stiffener callout two. Okay, this one I will call as grid G8, G9 stiffener callout three. Okay, and the final one will be, this is callout one. Yeah. Okay. Because both are actually very similar, so that's why I named it together. This one is callout one, this one is callout one. One, callout two, callout three. Okay, just name your callouts by selecting each one of them. So you should have 4 callouts. Okay, ready? Take your time. Move slowly is okay. Okay, can I move on? Are you all still writing the names or what? Okay, right? All right. Now what I want you all to do is select the stiffeners that you modeled just now. Second. Select the stiffeners or the gussets that you modeled just now. Selected. Then you need to go and find this selection box in your modify tab here. Able to see? This selection box over here. After you have selected your stiffeners, you need to select your stiffeners first. Select them. All of them will be selected together. And you need to go and find this selection box. Able to find? Click on it. See what happens for your case. Okay, maybe what you would like to do is change it to different color schemes, shaded or something like that. Be realistic. So this is how your stiffeners will look like. By the way, I don't think you all selected the material for your stiffeners, did you? No? Concrete. No, stiffener is concrete. Could be steel as well, right? Because we have steel bracing, right? Steel framing. So what I would want you all to do is click on the stiffeners here, select the stiffeners, and select this command called edit in place. So what we are trying to do now is, because we didn't select the material, steel or concrete, for our stiffeners, we are trying to go back to the family editor where we created our object. Once we are able to go to that family editor, we will be able to select our material for our stiffeners. So that's what this command is all about. Okay, so once you have selected your stiffeners, click on edit in place. Select it again. Okay, is everyone on this page with me? Why? Where are you? Are you on this page? Are you on this page? This page. This page. Okay. Have you managed to draw all the callouts? Okay, great. Then once you have drawn all your callouts, I want you to select on this stiffeners. All stiffeners will be highlighted. Highlighted, done. Select on the stiffeners only. Don't double click, just one click. Okay, and then click on this item selection box. Click on this item called selection box. Done. Once you click on it, you will be directed to this page. Okay. Then once you are on this page, maybe change your visual style to realistic. Got it so far, Justin? Okay, good. All right. Now, what I want you to do is click on the stiffeners again. Select the stiffeners like how is it shown on my screen, and click edit in place. So the reason for me to click on edit in place is because I need to go back inside my family editor in order for me to assign materials to all these stiffeners. Okay, so that's why we are here. Now, select it again. Somehow the selection has gone away. So select all the stiffeners again. If you just select one of them, all will be highlighted. Okay, then you'll find this section called material. Click on it, and you will see, for your case, it will say no material or something like that, by category or something. So click on this three dots over here. Able to find the three dots? Click on it, and it will direct you to this particular drop box. This not drop box, what is it? Dialog box. Okay. Right. Now let's go and find steel. Let's go and find steel. So what I want you to do is at your bottom, material libraries. At the bottom of your screen, material libraries, there is this arrow. Okay. Click on this arrow and probably it will be something like that. Something like that. So expand home, expand AEC materials, scroll to the bottom and try to find metal. Under metal, there are also so many categories. Okay, I mean, if it is too small for you, you can expand the screen a little bit, something like that. By just dragging it at the bottom of the screen like that, you can expand it if it is too small for you. Okay, so under metal, just select steel, one of the steel, like this. Okay. Sorry.
For so many categories, I cannot see one.
Metal.
Metal.
Scroll down and find, any one of the steel. Let's say you find the steel called AISI 1015. Cannot be different. Just scroll down and find. Okay, where are you? Two. Are you able to see this?
Now I have AEC material.
AEC material. Okay, do you find metal here?
There I find
Metal.
metal.
Metal. Then scroll down. Metal cannot see anything. Cannot be. Okay. Okay, what I want you all to do is, I want you to click on this arrow here, AISI 1015, or whichever type of steel you want. Click on this arrow here, small arrow. And once you click on it, it will add the material to the main library. Upload the material to the main library. So as you can see in my main library, right, as of this moment, I don't have a particular, I only have what? I have this steel, I have AISI, which I just added. I have ASTM, steel carbon 4535. Let me show you why I needed to do that. Let's say I want to add a new material of steel. This time, let me add AISI 1022. So for me to add this material to the main library, I need to click on it. Now 1022 will be added. Okay, that's just for your example. But since you all have added 1015, you can select that 1015, click on apply, and click on OK. Now your steel material is added and it looks like that. Is everything similar at your end also? Okay, good. Okay, done. All right, so once you have done this, select on this finish model. Okay. Save the project if the command comes. Okay. Now this should be material should be added. Just hold on for a while. Okay, already. Okay, let's move on. So where are we? In my 3D view over here, right? Okay, so now as you can see, we are trying to create a drawing sheet, right? So for the moment, okay, before we go into creating the drawing sheet, let's rename this particular view as well, because this 3D is not for the 3D of the entire building. It's only for the 3D of the structural framing and stiffeners. Okay, so under the view name, please go and change it to structural framing and stiffeners 3D view. Okay, then click on apply and the name will be changed over there. Structural framing and stiffeners 3D view. View, yeah, because we want to put up a isometric view in our sheet also. Okay, right.
So the thing and
Structural framing and stiffeners 3D view, or because we have framing here, stiffener here, right? Strange. Time some things. All right, let's start creating our sheet. So this. So scroll all the way at the bottom of your screen and find sheets here. Able to find inside your project browser. Inside your project browser, you will find all the way at the bottom sheets. Found? Right click on it and select new sheet. Sheets, right? Sheet, new sheet. we can select it as A1 metric, that's fine. Let all the selections here be by default and click OK. Your screen will turn like this. Everyone able to get it? Huh? Again. So let me delete this first. So sheets, able to find sheets inside your project browser? Click on new sheet. Just right click on sheet and select new sheet. Right, this dialog box will appear. This one, let it be A1 metric. This one, let it be new, and just click OK. Got it? Great. All right, now what we want to do is we want to start dragging. So this is the best part about Vim, because we created all the views just now, right? We created the call out views, we created section, we created an isometric or the 3D view as well. So we don't need to create the sheet separately. What we can do is we can just start dragging and dropping all the views that we have created on top of this sheet. And then this sheet could be printed out or converted into PDF and things like that. Okay, so let's start dragging our different views. First thing, let's drag our structural framing and stiffeners 3D view. This is an isometric view that you created just now. So to drag it, select this structural framing, just one click, select it, hold the left button of your mouse and start dragging till you find a place for it and release it. Okay, probably it's a bit too small, so we need to increase the scale for this one. So we will increase the scale to something, or maybe reduce the scale, not increase. Yeah, so select on it and go to the properties dialog box, view scale, start increasing the scale so that it's able to fit properly on your screen, something like that. You can move all these things around. Okay. Are you able to do this, guys? No? Restart. You want me to restart? Project browser. Inside from your project browser. How to get the project browser? Go to the View tab, User Interface, and find project browser here. Make sure it's checked. Click mark. Go to the View tab, yeah. User Interface and find the project browser. Yeah, select. Make sure it's check mark. Tick tick. Yeah. Able to get project browser? Okay, she's coming. For the rest of you all, let's move on. Just now, what did we create? We create this one, is it? Yeah. So let's drag, same thing, structural framing, call out, grid 8. Is it this one or this one? Which one was it? Okay, ideally it should be that, but never mind. Drag this one into your screen, drop it, increase the scale or decrease the scale rather. Make sure everything is visible. You can select these items and move them up or down. Okay. What? Okay, so you can do that. Same thing, start dragging all your call out views. Okay, this one I have done already, so I will not do this. Where is my stiffener call out? 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, where is this view? This is one, right? Stiffener call out 2. So before you start adding, make sure that all these things are clear so you can hide in view, all this. Maybe expand a little bit if you want by going inside the call out view. So this is, of course, up to you all. This is what do you call it? Proper cleaning up of your drawing before you start bringing it in inside your sheet. So what I will start doing now is my structural call out 2 is this one. So I will start dragging and dropping it here. Okay, probably it's too small, so I will just make sure the scale is bigger enough. Okay, then move it like this. Okay, then structural call out 3 is about this. Maybe just select it like so, expand a little bit. Make sure that it's properly seen. Okay, once it's okay, drag it on the sheet as well. Scale it up properly. Right? Then how you want to adjust your screen is up to you. Definitely you can do that. Same for structural call out 4. Modify it a little bit. Okay, I will prefer it to be like that. Did I create a call out for this? Why is my call out not there? Never mind. Okay, just a little bit of an adjustment. Once you are satisfied, bring all your callouts on the screen. Okay, so what you can do is you can adjust all of this because you want to show the detail, right? So you can adjust something like that. Then this one can go at the bottom here. This one is on this side here. This one is on this side here to represent somewhat of this shape. Again, all of this is up to you to determine how you want to place your items one by one. Make sure everything is looking nice and clean. Okay. If this blue line is troubling you, you can click on this number here or this blue line somehow here. Right? And then you can just reduce the size of this blue line. Make sure that it's not coming in the middle of your working space. Okay. Just click on the blue line to select it, reduce the size of it.
How to move up?
Move, once you select it, right, you will see that you are able to move it around. Just need to select it.
Select the number right there after I move, right?
Yes. You should be able to move it. Shouldn't be an issue. Cannot move. Okay, never mind. Wait form is done. Okay, just do something like this. Good enough. One more thing you can do before dragging and dropping, what you can do is you can change the callout views, detail level to fine. If you want, you can change it to realistic or consistent colors as well. Fine, realistic. I'm just changing the callout views, detail levels, detail and visual styles. Okay, let's see. So when you do that, your sheet is also, you can try one more thing. Now you see my street, in my sheet, this is the section box, something like that. Let me try to enlarge the section box a little bit. Let's say I enlarge the section box over here, a little bit only. Okay, once I go back, you'll see that it's enlarged over here as well. So this is quite intuitive. This is what the power of BIM is all about. Okay, so that is where we are. Of course, I also wanted to add, where's my, okay, okay, so far, everyone. In my case, I also want to add a framing elevation. I'll just create some space here and drag my framing elevation like so. Okay.
Online, turn off the light.
Okay, so for my case, my drawing sheet looks something like this. What about you all? Is it also this good? Not good. Huh? His is better. Very good. All right, let's add a few more things, guys. So this one is Autodesk, right? Anyways, Autodesk doesn't allow us to change anything. We can definitely add our logo and everything. Your company logo, I mean. So owner, who's the owner? Let's just say Nian Poli is the owner. What's your project name? D? Project name, your project that you're working on, you know, any project name, project, let's say this is what? I don't know, Marina Bay Sands. Is it Marina Bay Sands? I will just call it Mariba Bay Sands. Avoid copyright issues. Okay. Created by who? Put your name. Created by, put your name. Okay. Ian Poly is creating Mariba Bay Sands. Put your name, student name here. Right? This is usually project number is your BP reference number, right? So BP reference number, you all, when you do a project, you get a building plan reference number. Do you all know that? Know that, right? So project number is, a BP reference number, which you have to apply for. You can just mention something like that, ABCD 1, 2, 3, 4. That's provided to you by the authority side, but we don't have a BP reference number, so I'm just going to give a random name over there. Date, put today's date, 23/11. Today's what, 23, is it? Oh, so 2022 end already. Yeah. Drawn by, you can put your name again. Checked by, who's the consultant? Just put consultant name here, right? And okay, instead of student name, when I mentioned you to put student name, it's not the student name, it's the name of the drawing. So this drawing sheet is all about, what is this drawing sheet all about? Structural framing and stiffener details, right? That is what your name should be over here, structural framing and stiffener details. Okay. And you can just let it be, scale, whatever, everything is fine. And you will see on this particular, bottom right corner of your sheet, it shows automatically when your sheet is created. So it's 9:14 p.m. on 23rd November today. Okay, so it's an automated scenario also, right? So that's how your drawing sheets can be created for any object that you are modeling in Revit. Okay. Sorry.
Project owner.
Project owner.
So I need to, project owner, put young poly lah.
Yeah, just put anything that you feel comfortable with. Great. Let's see how to do this. Okay. Everyone here? All names entered, everything entered, right? Okay, so now that you have created all the details, let's try and export this drawing into a PDF format to be shared with whoever you want to share with. Let's say you are assuming the role of a structural engineer, right? So now as a structural consultant, after you have created the drawing, you need to pass back the drawing to somebody, right? Maybe the fabricator, maybe the contractor, maybe to the architect as well. So let's start to export this drawing as a PDF. So to do that, go to the File tab. Make sure you are in this view of your sheet. Okay, your sheet is visible. Go to the File tab and click on Export. Not click, yeah, you can just click on it also, but select PDF. You can also export it into DWG and other formats, which is AutoCAD and all. Okay. But for the moment, let's just export it as PDF. Found everybody is able to see this PDF. Okay, so far, right? Click on PDF and file name. You can select the file name as, what is this? Structural framing. I'll just call it structural framing and stiffener details.
And maybe as you want, or we have to go as that people say.
You can name it as you want, but for the moment would be great if you can follow exactly what it is. For the moment, later on you can name it. Structural framing and stiffener details. Got it? Okay, so far? Then your folder, I think it will be best to select the folder where you want to save it. You can just put it on desktop also. But for my case, because I already have a folder for today's work, so I'm just putting it inside this particular folder. Okay. So for my case, I'm just putting inside my folder that I created when I came to the class today. Okay, so browse location where you want to save it. I think this should be very simple. Browse and save it inside the folder. Okay, rest of the details, you can let it be as by default and just click on export. Got it? Let it export for a while. You can see the progress at the bottom left of your screen. Yeah, don't worry about that warning. So when you go to that folder, your PDF will be saved there. And when you click to open that PDF, your drawing is available for you to pass it around. Okay, so far, everybody able to export the PDF? Maybe one of the questions could be draw certain details, like rebar, column schedule, and things like that, and create a sheet and then export the sheet into a PDF. Probably potential question. Okay, correct? That's the end of today's class.
So far.
We can't do anything anymore. Yes, Mark. Huh? Next week there's a quiz.
Next week.
Next week there's a quiz. So for the quiz, my suggestion would be please watch the first.
Expired. All expired.
Nope, it's there back again. You please check your what's that called? Blackboard? Polite Mall. Yeah.
On the provide more.
Yeah, they all just check to, the first thing in the class I asked them to do is check the videos. So it's all back now. So my suggestion would be to watch the first lesson. Yeah, see whatever was spoken about in the first lesson, read through the slides. Nothing beyond the first lesson will be asked in your quiz. It will all be multiple choice questions, meaning some questions will have 3 options, some could have 4 options. And it's also possible that all 4 options are correct. So you'll have to identify that. It could also be possible that out of 4, 3 options are correct, 2 options are correct, or just 1 option is correct. Okay? Yes, the slides that I shared with you in the first lesson, just go through that. Nothing beyond the first lesson slide will be asked. Okay? That's for your quiz. Then in the next class, we are also going to do the revision to get you prepared for your common test 2 weeks later. Okay?
Common test is 6 December.
Is it?
7 December.
No, the Wednesday, this Wednesday, 7 December. Yeah? 7 December, you still have class, right? When is the semester break, Ms. Gan? Checking. When is the semester break, by the way? Okay. All right, so we still have time up until 7th. Okay. So for your common test, my suggestion would be start watching the videos already.
Emphasis of the first video.
The quiz. Quiz is first video. Yeah. For common test, it's video 2 to today video. 2, today is 6.
So the quiz is the week one the video lah.
Quiz is week 1 video.
So is the common test is week 2 to week
6. Week 2 to week 6. Yes, correct. Okay. All right. I think that's what we can do today. Did everyone manage to get the drawing? Yes or no? Okay, good. So definitely drawing is one of the major outcomes when you are creating your BIM models. So very important question. Okay. But it's not necessary that I'm going to ask you to draw the same things. I probably would ask you to draw something else like rebar, right? Like details for your, area reinforcement or other types of reinforcement, or probably even your column schedules and things like that. Okay, that's about it. See you next week. Thank you. Save your files, take all your files with you.